Hey folks, happy Monday to you. We continue our January 2023 prayer calendar here. The theme of the month is becoming. And I really like what the prayer ministry has done to help us think a little bit more deeply about this subject in a different way. You might have seen, there's a number of ways that we're inviting folks to engage the idea of becoming. The prayer calendar is one of those. And so as you look at the prayer calendar, we see that there are sort of different prompts. So for a couple days, think about becoming from anxiety to peace. Then think about becoming from envy and judgment to compassion. So it's not just the idea of becoming, but what are we coming from? What are we growing into? And the prayer ministry has really broken this down a couple days in each of these subjects. So I really appreciate how they've done that. So Monday, January 9th, and the prompt today is how we respond to anxiety is important. How we respond to anxiety is important. And the reading is Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and verse 8. So turn over there, Philippians 4, 6 and 8. Now, Philippians is in the New Testament, and Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, Corinthians, what else is in there? Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians. So Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Now, there's a lot of people, including myself, who struggle with these verses and oversimplification. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's hear the scripture first. Do not worry about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. That's verse 6. So don't worry about anything. Just pray to God. Verse 8, finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So lots of people struggle with this idea of how the Bible deals with anxiety. It's like, don't worry about anything, just pray. And that's oversimplified. Certainly, we recognize that there are some mental health concerns and medical treatments that might help people with significant levels of anxiety. We're not saying that if you are anxious, then you're not praying enough. So hear us clearly on that. So some medical treatments. On the flip side, what are some strategies? So one strategy is listed in here. So you can have this whole list of things that you're anxious about, thinking about, and then this whole list of other things that are good and pleasing and pleasurable. How can we train ourselves to think in this way rather than this way? I know one of my strategies in life when I feel sort of that anxiety creeping in is to really consider what things can I control and what things can't I control. And why would I expend energy, anxiety, worrying about things that I have no control over anyways? I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking to this sort of business guru, and he was talking about the times when he's anxious, and he says what he has to do is he has to boil it down. That his reflection is that oftentimes we get anxious when we think about everything that has to be done. And he said one of his strategies is to eliminate the everything and just think about one thing. How am I going to get one thing done? And then next, how am I going to get the next thing done? And the next thing. So all these different ways in which we might deal with anxiety. And it's not to say just pray and it'll go away, but prayer and God at the center of human ways, whether it's training our brain or prioritizing or even medication, but putting God at the center of all of those ways in which we might bring treatment. And what that perhaps will help us do is to move from anxiety to peace. That is the goal. God bless you in this journey. Have a great day.